Dad's 62nd birthday dinner. The hostess led us toward a private room in the back. Table for 8, white tablecloths, those folded napkins that look more complicated than origami. Noah walked beside me. 7 years old. Blue striped shirt tucked in on one side, coming loose on the other. He'd insisted on doing it himself that morning. Dad and Mom were already there. My sister Jessica, her husband Brandon, their kids Mia and Tyler. Everyone dressed up. Candles waiting on a cake. A smaller table sat near the kitchen doors. 2 place settings. Close enough to see us, far enough to make a point. Noah headed for the main table where his cousins sat. He pulled out the chair next to Tyler. Dad's hand shot out, caught the chair back. "Whoa there, sport!" Noah looked up. "This table's for adults and real grandkids. You understand, right?" Dad pointed at the small table. "You'll be more comfortable over there." The room went quiet. Mom studied her menu. Jessica adjusted Mia's hair bow. Brandon checked his phone. Noah's face went very still. That thing he does when he makes himself smaller. 7 years old and already learning how to disappear. "Grandpa, why can't—" Mia started. "Hush, sweetheart." Dad pulled out his chair. Sat down. "Alex, you're here." He gestured to the empty seat beside him. I looked at Noah. Then at the separate table by the kitchen. Then at my father settling in like he'd just solved a seating problem. I walked to the small table, pulled out a chair, sat down. "Dad, what are you doing?" Jessica asked. I didn't answer, patted the seat across from me. Noah walked over. Sat. Smoothed his napkin the way I'd taught him. "Alex, don't be ridiculous." Dad's voice had an edge. "It's my birthday. Sit at the family table." I am sitting at the family table. I picked up my menu. "This is where my son is sitting." "No," Dad cut her off. "I set this up so the kids could sit together and Alex could relax. But if he wants to be difficult, that's his choice." Difficult. Not cruel. Not wrong. Difficult. The server appeared. Took drink orders. Everyone else got wine and craft beer. I ordered water for both of us. At the main table, conversation resumed. Dad's golf story. Jessica's too loud laugh. Mia and Tyler coloring on placemats. Nobody looked at us. We sat 10 feet away, but might as well have been in a different restaurant. Noah cut his chicken fingers into small pieces when they arrived. Ate quietly. Didn't ask why Grandpa made him sit alone. He already knew. I thought about the adoption finalization 3 years ago. Dad congratulated me but called Noah your kid instead of our grandson. Christmas gifts, elaborate presents for Mia and Tyler, $20 gift card for Noah. Mia's birthday party last month when Noah was told to help Grandma in the kitchen during the family photo. Small cuts, small exclusions, small reminders. I'd told myself it would get better, that pushing back would make it worse. I'd been wrong. "Dad?" Noah's voice was small. "Yeah, buddy? Why doesn't Grandpa like me?" I set down my fork. Looked at my 7-year-old who'd spent 2 years in foster care before I adopted him, who still had nightmares, who was just starting to believe this home was permanent. "Grandpa's got some stuff to figure out. It's not about you." "But he said I'm not a real grandkid." "He's wrong. But I'm not related to him. Not like Mia and Tyler." "Family isn't just blood, Noah. It's who shows up." He looked at the main table where everyone laughed at something Dad said. "They're not sitting with us." "No, they're not." He went back to his chicken. Didn't cry, just accepted it. Dessert came. Chocolate cake with candles at the main table. Everyone sang. Dad blew them out. Cut the first slice. A smaller piece appeared at our table. No singing, just cake. Noah ate it without comment. The server brought the check. Leather folder, set it at the head of the table. Dad opened it. Looked at the total. Slid it across to me without a word. Like he always did. Every family dinner for the past year. Dad's birthday. Mom's birthday. Random Tuesday nights. Every time the check ended up in front of me. Not a request, An assumption. I pulled the folder toward me. Opened it. 290.47. I counted out $47. 2 entrees, 2 waters, 2 desserts, plus tip. Slid the cash into the folder. Stood up. Noah, you ready? He looked at his half-eaten cake, nodded, slid out of his chair. Alex? Mom's voice. Uncertain. I walked to the main table, set the folder in front of Dad. There's cash for Noah and me. The rest is on you. Dad's smile froze. What? You wanted separate tables. You got separate bills. I held out my hand to Noah. He took it. Jessica stared. You're joking. Not even a little bit. Dad opened the folder. Saw the $47. Looked at the $290 total. Alex, it's my birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. You can't just... We don't have... Then I guess you'll figure it out. Like you figured out the seating. Mom grabbed her purse. Robert, I have my credit card. No. Dad's voice went hard. He's not walking out on my birthday because I hurt his feelings. You didn't hurt my feelings. You told my son he's not real family. That's not hurt feelings. That's showing me exactly where we stand. I started walking. Noah beside me, small hand in mine. Alex, get back here. Dad's voice rose. You're embarrassing me. I kept walking, through the private room, through the restaurant, past other tables where families ate together. Alex, the hostess held the door. We walked out. Behind us, Dad's voice. Mom trying to calm him. The server asking if everything was okay. I unlocked the car, helped Noah with his seatbelt. Got in. Started the engine. Noah stared out the window. Are they going to be mad? Probably. Are you going to get in trouble? I'm 32. I don't get in trouble anymore. But Grandpa's really mad. Grandpa can be mad. Doesn't change anything. I pulled out of the parking lot. Through the windows, I could see people moving around in the private room, probably figuring out how to split a $243 bill. Dad? Yeah? Thanks for sitting with me. Something in my chest shifted. Made room for something I should have done years ago. Always, buddy, always. We drove home. Noah changed into pajamas, brushed teeth, got into bed. I sat on the edge. You okay? Yeah? You sure? Grandpa's mean sometimes. I'm used to it. 7 years old, used to it. You shouldn't have to be used to it, he nodded, eyes closing. Exhausted from trying to be invisible all evening. I went to the living room, pulled out my phone. 17 missed calls from my parents' number. 3 texts from Jessica. What on earth just happened? Dad is furious. Call Mom back right now. I set the phone face down, opened my laptop, logged into my banking app. Found the auto payment from 6 months ago. Country club dues, Dad's membership, $180 per month. He'd asked once when he retired. Fixed income made it tight. I'd said yes. It became automatic. I scrolled further. Saw other payments I'd stopped thinking about. Jessica's kids' activities, dance for Mia, soccer for Tyler, $400 monthly. Family helps family. Phone plan. 5 lines. I'd been primary account holder since college. $220 per month. $180, $400. $220, $800 per month. Times 6 months, $4,800, plus the dinners, every birthday, every let's get together. Every check slid across the table. I'd never counted. Never wanted to see the total. My phone lit up. Dad calling again. I let it ring. Stared at the country club payment screen. Next draft scheduled for 3 days from now. My cursor hovered over cancel auto pay. Not tonight. Let him sweat the restaurant bill first. Let him figure out $243 between 4 adults. Let him wonder what else I might stop paying for. I closed the laptop. Checked on Noah. Still sleeping. Face peaceful. Tomorrow I'd deal with the rest. Tomorrow I'd set boundaries I should have set years ago. Tonight I just sat in the quiet. Noah safe down the hall. The son who'd been told he wasn't real family. The only real family I had. My phone buzzed. Text from Mom. Please call us. Your father is very upset. This isn't like you. She was right. This wasn't like me. The old me would have apologized, paid, smoothed everything over, made myself small so Dad could feel big. But the old me hadn't watched his son accept exclusion like it was normal. The new me was done. I powered off my phone. Tomorrow they'd call again. Demand explanations. Expect me to cave. Tomorrow I'd be ready. And I'd have some explanations of my own. Sunday, 9:47 a.m. Someone was pounding on my apartment door. Not knocking. Pounding. I was making pancakes. Noah sat at the kitchen table with his activity book, still in dinosaur pajamas. The pounding continued. Noah looked up. Is that Grandpa? Probably. Are you going to answer it? I flipped a pancake. After we eat. More pounding. A voice. Alex, I know you're in there. I plated the pancakes. Set one in front of Noah. We ate slowly while my father wore out his knuckles in the hallway. Only after I'd rinsed the dishes did I walk to the door. Dad. Face red. Golf polo and khakis. I opened it. He pushed past me. What the heck was last night? I walked to the kitchen, started making coffee. Dad followed. You embarrassed me, made me look like an idiot. Could you afford it? He stopped. I opened my laptop on the counter, turned the screen toward him. Auto payments, 6 months of charges, country club, Jessica's activities, phone plan. He squinted at the numbers. His face went white, then red. $4,800, I said, not counting dinners. I didn't know about, he gestured at the screen. All of this. You used it every day. I assumed, he looked up. Jessica's dance classes? You asked me to help last spring. Never said to stop. I looked at Noah. He grabbed his plate without being asked and disappeared into his room. Dad waited for the click. You should have said something. You should have noticed. I walked to the door, opened it. Dad grabbed his keys, stopped at the threshold. This isn't over? Yeah, it is. I closed the door, locked it. We went to Riverside Park. Noah ran to the jungle gym. I sat on a bench. Phone buzzed. Unknown number. Voicemail. Alex, it's Uncle Mike. Robert borrowed $3,000 from me in July. Said it was temporary. Haven't heard from him. Is everything okay? I played it again. $3,000. July. Right when Dad asked me to cover country club dues. Dad hadn't been tight because of retirement. He'd been tight because he was already in debt. My phone rang. Mike. Hey, Mike. Alex, is your dad okay? Physically, yeah. Financially, that's complicated. I told him. The restaurant, the separate table, the payments I'd been covering. Mike was quiet for a long moment. He's been telling me things are fine, that he's got consulting work. Does he? I don't think so. Mike sighed. The $3,000 was for a car repair. Said insurance wouldn't cover it. Did he fix the car? I don't know. But if he's having you pay for the club while owing me money, that's bad judgment. I'm canceling the membership tomorrow. Good. He needs a reality check. And Alex? Whatever happened at that restaurant, I'm on your side. Kids don't get ranked. Thanks, Mike. Noah ran over, breathless. Can we get ice cream? Sure, buddy. We stopped at the grocery store on the way home. Noah picked chocolate chip. At checkout, I heard her. Alex. Jessica. Designer sunglasses. Yoga pants. Cart full of organic everything. Jessica. She looked at Noah. Forced a smile. Hi, Noah. He waved but stayed close to me. The dance academy payment declined. Mia's costume isn't paid for. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Her voice rose. Other shoppers looked over. She's been practicing for 3 months. Then you should pay for it. Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you check? Noah tugged my sleeve. Dad, I want to go. Yeah, we're done here. I moved past Jessica. She grabbed my arm. This is because of Saturday. Dad told my 7-year-old son he's not real family. That's not a mistake. He didn't mean it like that. Then how did he mean it, Jessica? Explain the nice way to tell a kid he doesn't belong. She looked at Noah, back at me. Can we not do this in front of him? You all did it in front of him Saturday, at a restaurant. Her face flushed. That's not fair. What's not fair is Mia losing her solo. What's not fair is my son sitting at a separate table. I walked away, Noah's hand holding tight to mine. In the car, he was quiet. You okay? I asked. Aunt Jessica looked sad. Yeah. Is it our fault? No, buddy, it's not our fault. Sometimes when you stop doing something people expect, they get upset. That's their problem, not ours. He nodded. Didn't quite believe me, but wanted to. At home, I made lunch, grilled cheese. While he ate, I opened my laptop. Pulled up the Elite Soccer Academy registration page. The camp he'd mentioned 3 times. The one he stopped asking about after I said maybe. 450, 2 weeks, advanced training. I entered his name, date of birth, emergency contact. Dad, what? You're going to soccer camp. His face lit up. The good one? The good one. He hugged me so hard my coffee spilled. Thank you, Dad. You're welcome. I hit submit. Confirmation email arrived immediately. Noah read over my shoulder. Elite Soccer Academy Summer Intensive. That's the real one. You'll be better than everyone by the end. He grinned. Went back to his sandwich. Kept looking at the confirmation email like it might disappear. That night, I couldn't sleep. Noah was in his room, door closed. I could hear him breathing through the wall, that soft kid breathing that reminded me he was still small. Still learning what family meant. I'd just cut off my parents, blocked my sister, erased them like they'd tried to erase him. But what if I was wrong? Not about the insult. That was real. That happened. But about the response. Maya said I was protecting us. Mike said I was setting boundaries. But late at night, in the dark, I just felt cold. I opened my phone, stared at Dad's blocked number. 1 unblock. 1 call. Maybe he'd apologize. Maybe we'd talk like adults. Maybe Noah could have grandparents again. My finger hovered over the button. Then I remembered his face. The way he smiled when he said, real grandkids. Like Noah was a placeholder, a practice kid. I put the phone down. Not tonight. Maybe not ever. But the doubt didn't leave. It just sat there, like a stone in my chest. Friday morning, I logged into the banking app. Found Jessica's activity payments. $400 drafting in 12 days. Clicked cancel. Confirmed. Found the country club dues. $180 drafting in 3 days. Clicked cancel. Confirmed. 3 confirmation emails arrived. I opened a new tab. Riverside Camping Grounds, how can I help you? Hi, I want to book a campsite this coming weekend. 2 people, 1 tent. We have availability, Friday through Sunday? Perfect. I booked it, paid the deposit. Noah came out during a commercial. Are we really going camping? We really are. Just us? Just us. He grinned. My phone buzzed. Text from Dad. This conversation isn't finished, I replied. Yeah, it is. Blocked his number. Blocked Jessica's. Saturday morning, we left for camping. Just us. No phones, no family drama. Just a tent, a cooler, and a 7-year-old who'd never started a campfire before. Can I hold the matches? Not yet. First you learn how to stack the wood. Noah crouched down, arranging sticks like I showed him. Tongue sticking out in concentration. Like this? Perfect. I handed him the matches. Supervised while he struck one. Watched his face light up as the kindling caught. I did it. You did. We roasted hot dogs that were burned on the outside and cold in the middle. Ate them anyway. Made s'mores with chocolate that melted down our hands. Noah laughed so hard he snorted. Dad, you have marshmallow in your beard. You have chocolate on your nose. He wiped it, smeared it worse. That night, we lay in the tent. stars visible through the mesh roof. Dad? Yeah, buddy. This is my favorite day ever. My chest tightened. Mine too. Can we do this every month? Every month. Just us? Just us. He fell asleep 10 minutes later. I stayed awake, listening to him breathe. Out here, there was no separate table, no real family, no rankings, just a dad and his kid, learning how to be whole without anyone else's approval. And that was enough. Sunday evening, we drove home. Noah asleep in the back, camping gear stuffed in the trunk. I opened a new savings account on my phone. College fund for Noah. Deposited $800. 2 months of payments I wasn't making anymore. Set up automatic transfer. $800 per month. By the time he turned 18, he'd have real options. Real choices. My phone buzzed. Text from Mike. Janet wants to know what kind of pie you want for Thanksgiving. I smiled. Texted back. Noah likes apple. 3 dots appeared. Apple it is, your family here, always. I showed Noah the text when we got home. He was half awake, covered in dirt. Aunt Janet's making you pie for Thanksgiving. Really? Really? Because that's what family does. They remember what you like. They show up. They make you feel like you belong. Do I belong at Uncle Mike's? Yeah, buddy, you do. He hugged me. I'm glad we're going there. Me too. That night, after Noah was asleep, I sat on the couch. Hendrix on my lap. 2 days ago, I'd sat at a restaurant and watched my father separate my son from the family. Now we were sitting around a campfire, burning marshmallows, laughing. I didn't know if I'd made the right choice, if the boundaries were too harsh, if I'd regret this in 5 years. But I knew one thing. Noah's favorite day ever didn't include them, and mine didn't either. That was a start. Tuesday evening. Week 1. Noah was at the kitchen table, homework spread out. I was making dinner. Dad, can you sign this? He handed me a folder. School permission slip stapled to the front. I flipped it open to find the signature line, and saw it. Family tree project, construction paper, crayon drawings. At the center, 2 stick figures, one tall, one small. Dad and Noah. That was it. No branches extending up, no grandparents, no aunts, uncles, cousins. Just us. I remembered last year's project. He'd drawn the whole family, Mom, Dad, Jessica, Mia, Tyler, everyone. This year, he'd erased them, not with words, not with a tantrum, just with the silent choice of a 7-year-old who learned that family trees don't include people who make you sit alone. Noah. He looked up. Your family tree. There's no grandparents. He went back to his math homework. Teacher said draw people who make you feel safe. And they don't? He shrugged. Grandpa said I'm not real. So I didn't draw him. Simple, logical, devastating. I signed the permission slip, closed the folder, and realized I'd taught him this. Not with lectures, with actions. When you're not valued, you walk away. He was 7, and he'd learned the lesson perfectly. I wasn't sure if that made me proud or terrified. Wednesday evening, Mike called. Alex, hey, Janet wants you and Noah to come for dinner tomorrow. She's making lasagna. You don't have to do that. We want to. Also, I've got something I want to show you. Found some old photo albums while cleaning out the attic? What kind of photos? Family stuff, from when you were a kid. Just come over. Bring Noah. Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Mike and Janet's house was one of those warm, cluttered places where everything felt lived in. Photos on every wall, kids' artwork from 20 years ago still on the fridge. Janet hugged us both at the door. Noah, I made garlic bread, extra butter. Noah grinned. After dinner, while Noah played with Mike's old Legos in the living room, Mike pulled out a leather photo album. Cracked spine, pages yellowing. Found this in a box marked 2017-2019, your adoption years. He opened it. First page, me at 3 years old. First day home, holding Mom's hand. She was crying, happy crying. Next page, Dad holding me, both of us grinning. Caption, in Mom's handwriting. Robert and Alex, day 3, already inseparable. Mike flipped pages. More photos. Dad teaching me to ride a bike. Dad at my kindergarten graduation. Dad helping me build a birdhouse. All before I was 6. Then the photos stopped. Page after page, empty. Years of blank space. I flipped ahead. One photo, 5 years later. Me at middle school graduation. Dad in the back row. Polo shirt, tired eyes, no smile. Notice something? Mike asked. I looked at the gap. 5 years of nothing. What happened? Mike pointed to the last photo before the gap. Dad in a suit. Me on his lap. Both grinning. Caption. Robert's promotion party. VP of Sales. He was on top of the world that year. Then the company restructured. Forced early retirement at 49. Mike tapped the empty pages. He stopped taking photos after that. I stared at the blank pages. 5 years where Dad had disappeared. Not from my life. From his own. He chose you once, Mike said quietly. Fought for you. That was real. I photographed 3 pages on my phone. Closed the album. Can I take a picture of this? Take the whole album. It's yours. Noah came over. What's that? Old pictures, from when I was little. Can I see? I showed him the photo of Dad holding me. That's Grandpa? Yeah. He looks happy. He was. Once. Noah studied it. What happened to him? I don't know, buddy. People change sometimes. They forget who they used to be. Mike walked us to the car. For what it's worth, I think he knows he screwed up. He called me yesterday, asked if I'd seen you. What did you tell him? That you were taking care of your son. That's all he needed to know. I nodded. Drove home with the album on the passenger seat. At home, I put the album on my bookshelf. Not hidden. Not displayed. Just there. Evidence that Dad had been different once. Had chosen me. Had fought for me. Before he forgot how. Friday. 3:15 p.m. Week 2. I was early to pick up Noah, parked at the curb, engine off. Watched kids pour out of the building like a human avalanche. Noah came out, backpack, head down. Behind him, Mia. Jessica's daughter. She walked faster, caught up to him. Said something. Noah shook his head. Kept walking. Mia grabbed his backpack. He stopped. Other kids slowed. Watching. She said something loud enough for me to hear the tone. Mean. Pointed. Noah's shoulders curved in, making himself smaller. I got out of the car. Noah. He looked up. Saw me. Relief flooded his face. Mia let go of his backpack. Smiled at me like nothing happened. Hi, Mr. Morrison. I didn't smile back. Go wait in the car, Noah. He went. Fast. I looked at Mia. 8 years old, Jessica's daughter. Already learned how to cut someone down in a school parking lot. What did you say to him? She shifted. Nothing. Try again. Just that he's not real family. That's why he didn't sit with us. I crouched down. Eye level. You're 8. So I'm going to explain this once. Family isn't about blood. It's about showing up. And right now, the people in your family are teaching you how to hurt people. Don't let them. I stood up, walked back to the car. Noah was buckled in, staring at his hands. What did Mia say, buddy? That Grandpa told her mom I'm not real. That you adopted me, so I'm not really a Morrison. I gripped the steering wheel. Do you believe her? He looked up, eyes wet. Are you going to leave me too? My heart broke. No, Noah, never. You're the realest thing in my life. He nodded. Didn't quite believe me yet, but wanted to. We drove home in silence. That night, I didn't sleep. Because I realized something. Dad hadn't just insulted Noah at a restaurant. He'd given Jessica permission to spread it. And Jessica had given Mia permission to weaponize it. This wasn't one moment. It was a pattern. And I'd just cut it off at the root. Monday, week 3. My desk phone rang at work. Reception. Alex, there's a woman here to see you. Linda Morrison. She says she's your mother. She doesn't have an appointment, but she's been waiting for an hour. I looked at my computer screen. Deadline in 4 hours. Tell her I'll be down in 5 minutes. Mom sat in the lobby, small, tired, holding her purse like a shield. She stood when she saw me. Alex. Mom. Can we talk? I looked at the security desk. At my mother, who'd been sitting here for an hour. There's a coffee shop across the street, 10 minutes. We walked in silence. Ordered coffee. Sat at a corner table. Mom wrapped her hands around her cup. Your father's been difficult this week. I can imagine. He doesn't understand why you're doing this. Did he tell you what he said to Noah? She looked down. He said there was a misunderstanding about seating. That's what he told you? Alex, your father is struggling. The retirement hasn't been easy. Money is tight. I know about Uncle Mike's $3,000. She went pale. How? Mike called me, told me about the loan, from July. He was embarrassed to ask you for help. Mom, if he needed help, he should have asked, not hidden it. Not asked me to pay for his country club while he owed his brother money. She was quiet. I didn't know about most of the payments. You sat there Saturday night and let Dad separate Noah. Let him sit alone. You didn't say a word. I didn't want to make a scene. You made a scene by your silence. She wiped her eyes. What do I need to do to fix this? Tell Dad the truth. That what he said was wrong. That Noah is family. That adoption doesn't make someone less. She stood up. I understand. Mom, she turned. If things change, if Dad does the work, maybe we can talk, but not now. How will I know when? You'll know when Noah feels safe enough to draw you again. She nodded. Left. I drove back to work. Sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes before I could go inside. Mom's face kept replaying. The way her hands shook around the coffee cup. The way she said, "You made a scene by your silence." Was she right? I thought about Noah's family tree, the one with just me. No grandparents. I told myself that was their fault. They excluded him, so he excluded them back. But I was the adult. I was the one who'd blocked their numbers, canceled their access, removed them completely. Noah was 7. He was following my lead. And maybe I'd moved too fast. Not about the restaurant. That was unforgivable. But about everything after. The scorched earth, the silence, the refusal to even hear them out. I texted Maya. Do you think I'm being too harsh? 3 dots. Then, do you think you are? I stared at the message. Didn't have an answer. Week 3. Mike texted, can you call me? It's about Robert. I called. Is he okay? Physically? Yeah. Mentally, he's falling apart. Good. Alex. What do you want me to say, Mike? That I feel bad? I don't. Silence. Then, I'm going to send you something. You don't have to respond, just read it. He hung up. 30 seconds later, a screenshot arrived. Text thread. Between Dad and Mike. Dad. I think I had a breakdown at the store today. Dad. Saw a father with his son. Kid was maybe 7. They were laughing. Dad. I can't remember the last time Alex laughed with me. Mike. Have you tried calling him? Dad. He blocked me. I deserve that. Mike. So unblock yourself. Show up. Dad. I don't know how. I stared at the screen. Dad didn't know how to show up. After 29 years of me showing up for him, he didn't know how to return the favor. That should have made me angry. Instead, it just made me tired. I texted Mike back. Thanks for sending this, but it doesn't change anything. Mike. Didn't think it would. Just thought you should know he's trying to figure it out. Me. Let me know when he does. I put the phone down. Trying wasn't the same as doing, but at least he'd admitted he didn't know how. That was something. Not enough, but something. Thanksgiving. Mike and Janet's house. Chaos. The good kind. Janet's 3 sisters arguing about pie crust. Mike's grown kids playing cards with their own kids. Someone's toddler screaming because someone else's toddler stole a dinner roll. And Noah, at the kids' table, laughing, really laughing. Not polite laughing, the kind from your stomach. Mike's grandson, Tyler, same age as Noah, was telling some story about a frog he found. Noah was doubled over. "You okay?" Janet asked, appearing next to me with wine. "Yeah, just watching. He fits right in." "He does." She squeezed my shoulder. "So do you, in case you were wondering." Dinner was loud, messy, no assigned seats, no toasts ranking anyone. Mike asked Noah about soccer. Tyler asked if Noah wanted to sleep over sometime. Janet's sister asked if I wanted her famous sweet potato recipe. "Fair warning," she said. "It has marshmallows, and I will judge you if you don't take seconds." I took seconds. After dinner, Noah and Tyler were outside throwing a football. I watched from the porch. Mike joined me. "This okay? Us being your Thanksgiving?" "More than okay." "Robert called me yesterday, asked if you'd be here." "What did you tell him?" "That you were with family." I looked at Noah, tackled by Tyler, both of them shrieking with laughter. "Yeah," I said. "I am." Mike smiled. "Good." Later, in the car, Noah buckled in. "Sleepy? Full? Happy? Dad?" "Yeah? Can this be our Thanksgiving from now on?" "Absolutely." "Good. Because Tyler said next year we're doing tackle football and I need to practice." I laughed. "Deal." He fell asleep before we hit the highway, and for the first time in months I wasn't thinking about what I'd lost, just what I'd found. That evening, I opened the college fund, deposited the third $800, watched the balance grow, $2,400. Real money, real options. By the time Noah turned 18, he'd have choices. Real choices. I looked at the photo album on my shelf. At Dad smiling with a 3-year-old me on his lap. He'd chosen me once. But now I was choosing Noah. Every day. Every decision. And that was the difference. Month 2. Life settled into a rhythm that didn't include them. Work, Noah's soccer, Mike and Janet's Sunday dinners where Noah actually sat with everyone. I opened the college fund, deposited the second $800, watched the balance grow, $2,400. Real money, real options. But the doubt didn't leave. It sat there, quiet, waiting. December came, week 3, Mike called. 11:47 p.m. "Alex, I'm at the hospital. It's Robert." My stomach dropped. "What happened?" "Heart attack. Not major, but not nothing. Janet and I are here with your mom. She's asking for you." I looked at Noah's door, closed, sleeping. I can't bring Noah to a hospital at midnight. "I know, I'm just telling you. He's stable, awake." "I'll think about it." I hung up, sat in the dark, felt nothing and everything. I didn't go that night, or the next morning. But I sent a card to the hospital, plain white, bought at Walgreens. 3 words inside: "Get well, think." Mom called when she got it. I let it go to voicemail. "Alex, thank you for the card. Your father cried when he read it. He wants to see you. When you're ready. No pressure. Just thank you." Dad came home 2 weeks later. Mike kept me updated. Medication, diet changes, orders to reduce stress. Doctor asked him what triggered it, Mike said. Robert told him family estrangement. Doc said that'll do it. January. Noah's soccer team made playoffs. We practiced in the park every Saturday. Mike and Tyler came sometimes. Noah was getting good. Really good. I watched him run drills, focused, determined, happy. He didn't ask about Grandpa anymore. Didn't ask about Thanksgiving or Christmas or why we weren't invited. He'd stopped expecting them to show up. And that hurt more than the restaurant ever did. Because 7-year-olds shouldn't have to learn that lesson. February. Noah's 8th birthday. Small party at our apartment. His soccer team. School friends. Mike and Janet. No invitation to my parents. Didn't expect them to show. But a package arrived that morning. Addressed to Noah. I opened it. Inside, jersey. Number 12, Professional quality, and a photo. Printed, not digital. Dad at the school gym. Equipment drive table, writing a check, other parents around him. On the back, handwriting. Donated $200 for kids who can't afford cleats. Didn't tell them I was your father, just wanted to help. And the card. Noah, happy 8th birthday. I remember you telling me once that number 12 was special because that's how old you'd be when you played pro soccer. You were 5 when you said it. I was listening. I'm sorry I stopped listening. Grandpa? I stared at the photo. Dad. At Noah's school. Not announcing himself. Not making it about him, just showing up. Quietly. The way I'd been showing up for years. Invisible. Uncredited. He'd learned that from me. The hard way. Noah came over. What's that? I handed him the jersey. From Grandpa. He put it on immediately. Read the card. Looked at the photo. He was at my school? Yeah. Why didn't he say hi? I don't know, buddy. Noah stared at the photo. Do you think he's sorry? I looked at the check in the picture, the handwriting on the back, the jersey that was exactly Noah's size, exactly his number. I think he's trying. Is trying enough? I don't know yet. But maybe we find out together. He nodded. Hugged me. Still wearing the jersey. That evening, after everyone left, I sat on the couch. Stared at my phone. Dad's number. Still blocked. I'd kept it that way for 3 months. Safe. Protected. Controlled. But control wasn't the same as healing. And walls weren't the same as boundaries. I unblocked the number. Didn't call. Didn't text. Just unblocked it. Left the door open. Just a crack. 3 days later, my phone rang. Dad's number. I let it ring once, twice, 3 times. Noah was in his room, wearing his jersey. The one Dad sent. He'd worn it every day since, slept in it twice. I could ignore the call, reblock the number, keep the walls up. Or I could answer. Not because Dad deserved it, because I deserved to choose. I picked up. Hello. Silence. Breathing. Alex. I wasn't sure you'd answer. I wasn't sure either. More silence. I've been doing a lot of thinking, since the hospital. Since before. Mike told me about the counseling. I didn't do it for credit. I did it because it was right. His voice was rough. Because I was wrong. I looked at Noah's door. Closed. Safe. You told a 7-year-old he wasn't real family, Dad. That's not wrong. That's cruel. I know. Long pause. My counselor asked what I was afraid of. I didn't have an answer. Took me 8 sessions to figure it out. What did you figure out? That I'm angry, have been for years. At myself mostly. For not being enough. Smart enough to keep my job. Rich enough to not need help. Important enough that people call me for reasons other than money. His voice cracked. And I took it out on a 7-year-old because he was easier than admitting I failed. I sat with that. Let it settle. What do you want from me, Dad? Silence. I want a chance. To prove I've changed. To meet Noah again. To be the grandfather I should have been. That's not up to me, I said. It's up to him. And he's 7. He doesn't owe you anything. I know. And if you screw this up, if you say one thing that makes him feel less than, we're done. Permanently. No second chances. I understand. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it because Noah asked me last week if grandparents could change. Dad's voice cracked. What did you tell him? I told him I don't know, but maybe we'd find out. Pause. Thank you, Alex. That's more than I deserve. Yeah, it is. I hung up, looked at the phone in my hand. Maya appeared in the doorway. She'd been listening. You sure about this? She asked. No, I said. But I'm choosing it anyway. She smiled. That's growth, babe. I pulled her close. Terrifying growth. The best kind. Next week, Noah and I were in the park. Same park from months ago. I brought his new bike. The one I bought with money that used to go to country club dues. No training wheels this time. He'd asked me to take them off. You sure? I asked. I'm sure. Tyler doesn't have them. Tyler isn't the measure. I know, but I want to try. I held the back of his seat, started running beside him. Pedal. Keep pedaling. He wobbled, steadied, wobbled again. You got this, buddy. I'm right here. He pedaled faster, found his balance, started pulling away. I let go. He didn't notice at first, just kept pedaling. 50 feet, 100 feet. Then he looked back, saw me standing still, realized he was doing it alone. He didn't fall, kept going, turned around, came back grinning. I did it. You did it. Did you see? I saw. He rode circles around me, laughing, free, real. Dad? Yeah? Do you think Grandpa really changed? I watched him ride, confident, strong, 7 years old and already learning that people were complicated. I think he's trying, and that's a start. Are we going to see him? Maybe, when you're ready, if you want to. What if I'm scared? Then I'll be right there, like when you learn to ride your bike. I'll hold on until you're ready for me to let go. He nodded, rode another lap. Okay, maybe. Maybe's a good place to start. My phone buzzed. Text from Mom. Can we see you sometime, when you're ready? No pressure. I typed back, not yet, but maybe. She responded immediately. Thank you. That's enough. I put the phone away. Watched Noah ride. Watched him fall once. Get back up. Ride again. 7 months ago, we sat at a separate table. 7 months ago, someone told him he wasn't real. Now he was here, riding a bike bought with reclaimed money. Part of a family that chose him every day. The old family might come back someday, if they did the work, if Noah decided they'd earned it. But we didn't need them to be whole. We already were. Noah rode past me again. Watch this. He took his hands off the handlebars. Just for a second. Wobbled. Grabbed them again. Looked back at me. Pure joy. Did you see? I saw, buddy. I saw. He kept riding. I kept watching. And for the first time in months, I didn't think about what I'd lost. Only what I'd built. Just the two of us. Real family. Not perfect. Not certain. Not without scars, but real. And that was enough.